All right, guys. So this is probably one of the most important tips you're going to get out of this program, and it's how to do your pricing. You'd be surprised how many phone calls I listen to on a daily basis for people that want me to manage their Google Ads. And so what I do is I attach a forwarding number to their account so we can track the performance of the ad, so they can actually see where these calls are coming from and to see if their return on investment is good. And to be honest with you, the only time I get complaints from people, I go back and I listen to the calls, and they're people that do not know how to answer the phone, that do not have a grasp on how to price. And this is super important for this business. I mean, if you're not giving correct pricing over the phone, if you're not making it so that they can understand how your prices work, you're just going to lose a ton of business. You're going to lose a lot of money advertising your business and waste your time. So this training is going to really help you with that. And I found this image on Google, and I feel like it really breaks everything down to how I do my pricing. And basically what I do is I have a bare minimum pricing for myself of $90. I won't go do a job for less than $90. If a person calls me and says, "Hey, would you do this for $75?" I would literally say no. There's no way. Because I know what my time is worth. I know how much money this business takes to run. I know how much money we spend on Google Ads. So I have a bare minimum. And the thing that happens with people is they're always changing their pricing. I have this gentleman that I've spoken to, and I've given him some advice, and he was telling me that the reason he changes his pricing is because there's people in different parts of the city that, are different incomes, or maybe he'll show up to a house and it just looks like they have a lot more money, so that he'll be able to get away with charging them more. So he doesn't do on over the phone estimates. He prefers to do everything in person. But by doing that, you get people that call and they're like, "Hey, I just want to get rid of this bed or this mattress." And he doesn't know how to give them pricing over the phone, or he doesn't want to. So he makes the conversation a lot harder than it should be. So rather than not wasting his time and finding out if this person has the means to pay a minimum of $90, he's going out and bidding the job, and is making it harder for the customer. Maybe the customer doesn't even want to deal with getting a bid because they feel like this is something that they could get over the phone. So it just becomes this frustrating conversation. And that's something that I try to avoid with this business, is making it frustrating for the customer and frustrating for you. So what I do is I have a bare minimum of $90. I kind of know how much stuff. That's usually just like a single item thing. Even if it's a couch, it'll go up a little bit more, usually around 100 to 120, depending if it's a hide bed. And these are the things that I ask for when I get a phone call. I say, "Hey, where are you located?" Also, this other thing, right before I get distracted, I've listened to phone calls, and nothing throws them off more than how they flow. And what I mean by that is, just get right to the point. Don't go asking what their name is and trying to be. I guess it's polite to ask what somebody's name is, but if it's going to interrupt the flow of the conversation, don't do it. It's a killer. I've listened to these phone calls, and it always kills the conversation. So just say, "Hey, this is Mario with Junk Removal. How can I help you?" And then I say, "What is it that you'd like for us to get rid of? What is it that you're looking to have done?" They'll say, "You know what, I got this single item, like a bed, like a mattress and box spring," or they're going to say they have a few more things. And typically what I do is, if it's a single item, I know in my head how much it's going to cost, kind of like in the picture here. It says refrigerators run from this much to this much, and, beds are this much to this much, just depending on it. But basically what I'm saying is, be structured, have a plan to give pricing. Even if it is that you have to print something like this and have it with you in front of you when you answer these phone calls, I mean. But this is what you need to do. So once they start going into like more items, like a few here and there, what you're going to want to do is get an idea of what your truck pricing is going to be. If you're using a dump trailer, break it up into quarters. What I do is, for my dump trailer, I have a quarter is a 150. Half a dump trailer is $250, and a full dump trailer is $400. So I give price breaks the more that they decide to get rid of. So what I do is, if they call me with a few items, I start to picture how much of the dump trailer that's going to take up, and I kind of give myself a gap. So if they say 3 items, they'll say, you know what, it's anywhere from 150 to 200. I really have to be there in order to know for sure. Of course, we can come out and give you an on-site estimate, and if you agree to the pricing, we can move forward with removing the junk at that time. This seems to work because you're going to get rid of the people that aren't willing to pay within those price ranges, and they're just going to say, hey, you know what, I'm just calling to get pricing. I'm going to call other people. But this just makes it a lot simpler for you. Now when you go out there, you know you're not wasting your time because you've told them what worst case scenario is and best case scenario is, so they're willing to do work with you. I say that this is the easiest way to closing more deals. It's going to make a big difference. You're going to see a big change in your business if you structure it this way. I know it may be sometimes scary that you feel like you're going to lose money on jobs, but remember, you don't have to do the job unless they agree to the price. So for me, it's worked. I've been doing this for almost 2 years now, and this has gotten me a lot more jobs than when I was all over the place with my pricing. Just stick to something, be consistent with it, and it's going to make a big difference. Of course, this pricing should be altered if it's stuff like cement, bricks, or what I do is if people call me and say they have metal, I don't place any value on anything that they're giving me, and I don't tell them that I'm going to resell it. So never place value on any items they feel like they're giving you. If you get a call that says, I have a lot of good items that could be resold, say that's great, but this is what our pricing is. We don't resell things, or whatever way you want to word things, but do not give value to anything. The other thing that I include in my calls are when I give them pricing, I tell them that includes proper disposal, transportation, and labor. When you say those 3 things, you're basically saying this is an all-inclusive price, and it leaves no room for them thinking that there's any other fees or anything like that. And it just sounds good. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. Continue watching the rest of the course, and let me know if you have any questions. I believe in this course you can actually leave questions below this video, and just basically just like YouTube it in a way. Thanks for watching.